usually measured in units called foot candles, or lux. Prep areas require the most light. Here, lighting must be at least 50 foot candles, 540 lux. You'll need at least 20 foot candles, 215 lux of light, in hand washing and dishwashing areas, buffets, salad bars, and displays for produce or packaged food, in wait stations and utensil storage areas, in restrooms, and inside some equipment, such as reach-in coolers. Finally, you'll need at least 10 foot candles, 108 lux of light, inside walk-in coolers and freezers, dry storage areas, and dining rooms. You also have to look at some of the other equipment in your kitchen, like your ventilation. Your ventilation hoods, fans, guards, and ductwork shouldn't ever drip onto food or equipment. Your hood filters or grease extractors have to be tight-fitting and easy to remove, and they should be cleaned on a regular basis. The last thing to look at for a sanitary facility is the procedures and equipment you've put into place to handle garbage. Garbage attracts pests, and it can contaminate food, equipment, and utensils. You have to prevent odors, pests, and possible contamination, so you've got to remove garbage from food preparation areas as quickly as possible. Make sure that garbage containers are leak-proof, waterproof, and pest-proof, and line them with either plastic bags or wet-strength paper bags. All outdoor garbage containers should be placed on a smooth, non-absorbent surface. They should have tight-fitting lids and should be kept covered at all times. And make sure you keep the drain plugs in place. Another thing, garbage containers should be easy to clean, and they should be cleaned frequently. This has to be done and done thoroughly, and that means cleaning it both inside and out. This should never be done near areas used for food preparation or storage. Okay, that covers sanitary equipment and facilities. Now I want to talk about cleaning and sanitizing. I want to stop here at Whistling River Amusement Park because in my book, their food safety practices are second to none. Alan Schumer is a guy who knows a lot about good cleaning and sanitizing practices. To get a handle on cleaning and sanitizing, you have to know the difference between cleaning and sanitizing, the properties and uses of cleaning agents, the different methods of sanitizing, and the different types of dishwashing machines and their proper operation. You'll also have to know how to clean and sanitize equipment using a 3-compartment sink. Then there's the proper storage of utensils, tableware, and equipment, the proper storage of cleaning tools and supplies, and the proper use and storage of hazardous materials. Cleaning is the process of removing food and other types of soil from a surface, such as a prep table or plate, while sanitizing is the process of reducing the number of pathogens on a clean surface to safe levels. Effective cleaning and sanitizing is a two-step process. Surfaces have got to first be cleaned and rinsed before being sanitized.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Everything in the operation has got to be kept clean. But any surface that comes in contact with food, such as knives, utensils, and cutting boards, has to be cleaned and sanitized.
So all food contact surfaces must be washed, then rinsed, and then sanitized. And you have to do it after each use. Anytime you begin working with another type of food, anytime you're interrupted during a task and the tools or items you've been working with may have been contaminated, and at 4-hour intervals if items are constantly used. These aren't options or something that should be done most of the time. These are practices that should be followed all of the time.
Cleaning agents are chemical compounds that remove food, soil, rust, stains, minerals, and other deposits.
Since cleaning agents all have different properties, you should ask your supplier to help you select the ones that will meet your needs. There are different types of cleaners, and they've got specific uses.
There are general-purpose detergents, which remove fresh dirt from floors, walls, ceilings, prep surfaces, and most equipment and utensils. Heavy-duty detergents, on the other hand, remove wax, aged or dried dirt, and baked-on grease. Dishwasher detergents are an example. Then there are solvent cleaners, which are often called degreasers, and these are alkaline detergents containing a grease-dissolving agent. They work well in areas where grease is burned on and are usually only effective at full strength. Acid cleaners, which are also called delimers, are used on mineral deposits and other soils that alkaline cleaners can't remove. Acid cleaners vary in type and strength and are often used to remove scale in dishwashing machines and steam tables. Abrasive cleaners contain a scouring agent that helps scrub out hard-to-remove soil. If you've got pots and pans with baked-on food, this is what's often used to remove it. Remember to use abrasive cleaners carefully because they can scratch surfaces.
There's two methods used to sanitize surfaces: heat sanitizing and chemical sanitizing. One way to heat sanitize tableware, utensils, or equipment is to immerse them in hot water. To be effective, the water must be at least 171 degrees Fahrenheit, 77 Celsius, and the items have to be immersed for 30 seconds.
When you're heat sanitizing by immersion, you should use a thermometer to check water temperature. It might also be necessary to install a heating device to maintain this temperature.
The other heat sanitizing method is the high-temperature dishwashing machine. This uses hot water to sanitize tableware, utensils, and other items. To check the water temperature in these machines, attach temperature-sensitive labels or tape, or a high-temperature probe to items that will be run through the machine. Now, the other way to sanitize uses chemicals. The three most common types of chemical sanitizers are chlorine, iodine, and quaternary ammonium compounds, or quats. Chemical sanitizers are regulated by state and federal environmental protection agencies, and a list of approved sanitizers is available from the federal government. Work with your chemical supplier to choose the right sanitizers for your place. Detergent sanitizer blends can sometimes be used to sanitize items. If you use a detergent sanitizer blend, use it once to clean and a second time to sanitize.
Tableware, utensils, and equipment can be chemically sanitized by immersing them in a specific concentration of sanitizing solution for a specific amount of time. You can also rinse, swab, or spray them with the appropriate sanitizing solution. Chemical sanitizers are mixed with water until the right concentration, the proper ratio of sanitizer to water, is reached. The right concentration is critical, because concentration below those required in your jurisdiction or recommended by the manufacturer could fail to sanitize objects. On the other hand, if the concentration is higher than recommended, they can be unsafe. When that happens, they can leave an odor or bad taste, and could even corrode metals. You should always measure the concentration using a sanitizer test kit, which registers the strength of the concentration in parts per million, or ppm. But make sure the test kit is designed for the sanitizer you're using. If you don't have the right test kit, they're usually available from the manufacturer or your chemical supplier. One last thing about the concentration of a sanitizing solution. You have to check it frequently, since the sanitizer loses its strength during use. Temperature is another factor that can influence the effectiveness of chemical sanitizers, so make sure you follow the manufacturer's recommendations for the proper temperature. Contact time is also important. For a sanitizing solution to kill pathogens, it has to make contact with the object for a specific amount of time. Manufacturer's recommendations should provide you with all the information you need. The pH and hardness of your water can also affect how well a sanitizer works. You can get this information from your municipality. Then you should work with your supplier to identify the right amount of sanitizer to use for your water.
Okay, now let's talk about the different types of dishwashing machines and how they work. High-temperature machines rely on hot water to clean and sanitize, so the water temperature is critical.
If it's not hot enough, items won't be properly sanitized. If it's too hot, it could vaporize before tableware and utensils have been sanitized. And there's also the possibility that extremely hot water could bake food onto an item.
The dishwasher must be equipped with a built-in thermometer that measures water temperature at the manifold, the point where the water sprays into the tank. The temperature of the final sanitizing rinse must be at least 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 82 Celsius, to be effective. For stationary rack single temperature machines, the sanitizing rinse must be at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 74 Celsius. Operations that clean and sanitize a lot of tableware may need to install a heating device. This device will make sure the machines have enough hot water. The second type of dishwashing machines are chemical sanitizing machines. These can clean and sanitize items at much lower temperatures.
Since different sanitizers require different rinse water temperatures, it's important to follow the dishwashing temperature guidelines provided by the manufacturer. All dishwashing machines should be operated according to the recommendations provided by the manufacturer.
But no matter what type of machine you use, there are general procedures you should follow when cleaning and sanitizing tableware, utensils, and related items.
That means you have to check the machine for cleanliness at least once a day and clean it whenever it's needed. You need to clear detergent trays and spray nozzles of food and foreign objects. And you should remove mineral deposits caused by hard water using an acid cleaner on the machine whenever it's necessary. Make sure the detergent and sanitizer dispensers are properly filled. Before you send the soiled items through, you need to scrape, rinse, or soak items before washing, and pre-soak items with dried-on food. The dish racks need to be loaded correctly. That means making sure all surfaces are exposed to the spray action, using racks designed for the items being washed, and not overloading racks. You also need to check water temperatures and pressure following the manufacturer's recommendations. As each rack comes out of the machine, check it for soiled items. Once all the items are cleaned and sanitized, you have to let everything air dry. Now, don't use towels because they can recontaminate items you just cleaned.
Finally, keep the dishwashing machine in good repair using the basic maintenance measures I talked about and any service agreement that you have with the manufacturer.
You can also wash items using a 3-compartment sink. A properly set up station for a 3-compartment sink includes an area for rinsing away food or for scraping food into garbage containers, drain boards to hold both soiled and cleaned items, a thermometer to measure water temperature, chemical test strips to check sanitizer concentration, and a clock with a second hand that allows employees to time how long items have been immersed in the sanitizing sink. Before cleaning and sanitizing items in a 3-compartment sink, each sink and all work surfaces have to be cleaned and sanitized. There's 5 steps for cleaning and sanitizing tableware, utensils, and equipment in a 3-compartment sink. Step 1. Rinse, scrape, or soak all items before washing. Step 2. Wash items in the first sink in a detergent solution that's at least 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43 Celsius. You should use a brush, cloth, or nylon scrub pad to loosen the remaining soil. And make sure you replace the detergent solution when the suds are gone or the water is dirty. Step 3. Immerse or spray rinse items in the second sink. You have to remove all traces of food and detergent. And if you're using the immersion method, replace the rinse water when it becomes cloudy or dirty. Step 4. Sanitize the rinsed items in the third sink by immersing them in a chemical sanitizing solution. Alternately, you can immerse them in hot water that's at least 171 degrees Fahrenheit, 77 Celsius, for 30 seconds. Step 5. Air dry all items. Don't use a towel.
Once utensils, tableware, and equipment are clean, sanitized, and dry, store them so they stay that way.